Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe from multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines and many other sectors.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on the D Street. Well, it's turned out to be a fantastic Friday thus far. The stock markets are at record high levels when you talk about the benchmark indices, Nifty and the Sensex. The Nifty currently hovering around 22,345. These are levels that you've not seen before ever. 1.6% of an upside. It's at the day's high. Huge volumes and a strong move is what you can see on the Nifty. The Sensex is now up 1,264 points in trade at 73,733, a brilliant number to track, 73733, and that also is at record high levels again. Now, when we talk about the broader markets, they are also moving in tow. So, you can see a percent rally in the Nifty Mid Cap 100 Index. That's up at 48,792 odd levels. The small caps up by 0.7% odd. It's the Nifty Bank that's also showing a very strong strength of support for the overall markets. And that's up 2.5% odd. Again, a major index moving with that much of weight on a very, very strong footing. 47,305 for this one as well. Now, among the sectors, if you look at barring the IT and the healthcare names that have been subdued right from the word go today, rest of the sectors are actually doing pretty well. Metals are shining superior in trade today, 3.5% higher in trade, followed by gains in the Nifty Bank. The private banks clearly coming back and getting their mojo back, with ICICI Bank, HDFC, Axis Bank and Kotak Mahindra Bank really contributing to the Nifty from the front. Oil and gas stocks also 2.5% higher in trade. The PSU banks 2.2% up right now. Financial services, that's also an index that's up by 2%. The Nifty auto index is driving in the faster lane, with the auto sales also coming in supportive. 2% higher for this one as well. 1.5% moves can be seen on consumer durables as well, and the realty space with about 0.8% of gains coming in tow. Which are the top stocks on the Nifty today? It's Tata Steel, that's up by 6%. A very strong move that is being seen across the metals pack is clearly one of the big triggers for the Tata Steel stock to move in today. You also have JSW Steel that's moving in along with Tata Steel. L&T is a major mover, of course, on the back of contracts right there from the Defence Ministry, 4.5% higher in trade. Titan is doing well, about 4% of an uptick can be seen for this one. On the losing side, which are the top stocks on the Nifty that are not contributing? Dr. Reddy's, HCL Tech, Sun Pharma, Infosys, IT and Pharma names slightly dragging in trade. Time to welcome our guest on the show. Kunal Rampiana joins in. He's the founder of the Streets. Kunal, good afternoon. Good to have you with us. Tell us, what do you make of the kind of move that we've seen in the markets? Clearly, this comes on the back of very strong GDP print. Any other triggers that you believe are behind this kind of a move?
Very good afternoon, Sakshi, and good afternoon to all our viewers also. So if you look at the Nifty, yes, we are near to the all-time high again, and it's been almost 1.5 months where the Nifty was actually struggling, and it's been a broader consolidation phase for the market. I think this is giving a clear directional breakout today at 22,350. I think there is more room for the upside, and we can expect the levels of around 22,500. And now I think it's the time for those large cap counters which have not really performed in the broader market rally. Those HDFC and the Kotaks of the world, I think, can now pick up from the extreme low levels where the risk reward ratio is favorable. I think now it's the time for those counters to watch out.
Okay, let's actually straight away get into the pockets that are moving the most to get a sense from you as to why are they moving and how should one be really playing those themes. Metals pack shining the brightest, 3.5% of a move coming in. So you talk about the PSU names like SAIL or NALCO, they are roaring in trade. Private players like Tata Steel, JSW Steel, they are moving quite strongly. Hindalco, where the brokerage houses reports came in early in the morning, were one of the push factors as well. How are you looking at this fresh metal move? And does this rally have legs in the metal space?
So again, if you look at the broader commodity market cycle itself, the commodity prices actually have not really picked up. And what we are witnessing today is the most of the counters are actually given a fresh breakout. Look at the Tata Steel. Now, this counter was in the clear trend from November, where the counter was trading at around 120, and now it's trading at the crazy high levels of 150. So, these counters where the trend is really open, one can definitely eye upon. The counter which has not given the breakout so far and now getting ready is JSW Steel. Now, if you look at the consolidation, it's at anything around 845 being the resistance. Above that, we can expect the levels of 880 to 885. I think it can sooner or later catch up with the moves which we are witnessing in Tata Steel. So, first preferred choice will be Tata Steel, followed by JSW Steel, where we can see such kind of rallies coming in.
Okay, fair enough. So that's as far as the metals pack is in strength today. Let's also talk about the big stocks that are moving up in trade. Let's first talk about the big contributing factors that's coming in from the Nifty bank and from the private banks after a long haul as well. So stocks like ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, they are performing well today. Is it finally going to be the turn of the banks to start driving the markets from the front now? What is your sense when it comes to the private banks? Because PSU banks have not disappointed at all, and they continue to show some signs of strength. Although a lot of investors may be feeling that now is too late to enter the PSU banking rally. How are you looking at this private versus PSU banking space right now?
So, Sakshi, this 2024 has been actually very painful for the banking sector per se. The reason being, you saw the Nifty making the new all-time high today, but Bank Nifty is still struggling a lot. Now, I think it's the time for these major, the biggies to contribute. The best preferred counter in this entire pack will be certainly HDFC Bank, keeping risk-reward ratio in mind. The only reason being, again, the risk-reward ratio is extremely favorable. The extreme low which we saw on the counter was at around 1385, and right now it's trading at I think around 1430, 35. So I think this can definitely be the next bull counter to watch out for. With the stop loss of 1390, one can expect the rallies of around 1510 to 1540 kind of levels. But yeah, certainly PSU banks cannot be ruled out. The best of those, Ken Bank and the SBI will always remain in the focus because that the clear strength is witnessed. But if someone is willing to play out on the risk reward ratio, I think the private banks like HDFC and Kotak will outperform them now.
Okay, HDFC and Kotak may outperform on the back of valuations currently. The other space that is in hot zone today is the entire auto space on the back of auto sales figures that are coming about for the month of February. Now, we've seen sales come in from Bajaj Auto, we've seen it from Tata Motors. Now, TVS Motors has just come out with the earnings. The sales figures. Also, M&M has come out with the sales figures as well. What do you make of the entire sales that have actually come in? So you can see a spike on TVS Motors. That's on the back of the sales that has come in. M&M, of course, it's hovering near those record levels, 2% higher for sure. Bajaj Auto, of course, better than estimate numbers also coming in for that one too. How do you see the auto sales figures panning out for the sector? Four-wheelers versus two-wheelers, how are you looking at the initial trends that are coming about?
See, certainly I have not seen all the numbers, but looking at the price action, if I figure out the best performing counter, which is TVS Motors, as you rightly highlighted. Now look at this consolidation of 3 to 4 days and the spike coming in the counter, and that's going on since almost November. Just a massive rally again, 3-4 days of negative consolidation and a positive, which makes a clear higher top, higher bottom formation, which is really important in the technical field. So yes, the first counter is TVS Motor, but an advice to our viewers is that if you're trying to capture this ongoing rally, then one should initiate the buy on the smaller consolidation or negative trend rather than buying at the new fresh breakout. So yes, from the short term point of view, one can certainly initiate a buy even at the 20 to 30 with the stop loss of 2200 and the target being 20 to 60 to 65. But if someone is trying to play the longer trend, then I think the minor consolidation with negative bias should come in to initiate the fresh buy. I think Maruti is well placed as far as the chart structure is concerned on the entire auto pack.
Okay. What about Tata Motors? This company has been an outperformer when it comes to the entire auto space. It's been the best Nifty stock of 2023. It continued to move up even now on the back of renewed hopes when it comes to JLR and of course improving domestic front as well. Even now for February, the sales have risen 8% to 86,406 units. Passenger vehicle sales are up 19% on a year-on-year as well. In the domestic market, PV sales including electric vehicles were 51,321 versus 43,140 units a year ago month period as well. How would you look at Tata Motors now, and is there still steam left in this star performer of the auto space?
So, Sakshi, the first breakout came somewhere in July 2023, where the counter made an all-time fresh high of around 605 levels. And since then, this counter is making clear high of higher bottom formation. These are those counters which have actually, punished people who actually think of booking their profits rather than trailing the stop losses. So I don't know how much steam is left on the higher side. The counter is reaching near to those 1,000 as a ballpark figure. I think there where we can see some kind of resistance coming in. But otherwise, these all counters are just buy on dip. Whenever there is a minor consolidation, one should accumulate these kind of counters and keep trailing the stop loss rather than booking the profits. One can keep trailing the stop loss. And right now on the charts, what I can see is the previous swing low is coming at somewhere around 940. So till the time Tata Motors remains above 940, I think every dip is a buying opportunity with the targets of at least being 1,000 and even higher than.
Okay, fair enough. So point taken on Tata Motors right there. And what about the auto ancillary pack also, Kunal? Because this is one space that has been garnering all the attention, and a lot of these small cap names are also coming back in full throttle currently. Talk about stocks like Sonat BLW or Samvardhan Motherson, Uno Minda Corp, for example. Stocks like Rico Auto, Munjal Showa, they are actually coming back in flavor again in a very strong move, of course. How are you looking at the auto ancillary basket as well, and how should one really play the theme here?
See, yes, certainly that's been the discussion for the entire day. In fact, these counters have really done remarkably well in today's session also. But if you look at the formations point of view, I think Samvardhana Motherson is a much better placed. The only reason being recently there was a crazy heavy volume right somewhere in the beginning of January, and since then this counter has clearly made higher top, higher bottom. Recently also, after 6 to 7 days of sideways consolidation, this counter is again coming out of it. So I think this counter is well poised for making a new all-time high very soon. And the previous highs on the chart are at around 130 to 135. So with the target of 135, one can think of initiating a buy on this, and the immediate lower level, which is at around 110, can be the good stop loss for this counter. But just a note, a cautionary note to all our viewers to keep the trailing stop loss being really strict, because if there is any reversal, they should not get trapped again.
Fair enough. Let's talk about Maruti Suzuki, because that has just come out with the sales of February as well. And the total sales for Maruti Suzuki are at 1.97 lakh units, vis-a-vis 1.7 lakh units it had sold a year ago in the same month. And the domestic sales have also seen an uptick vis-a-vis last year's same month. Now it is at 1.68 lakh units, vis-a-vis 1.55 lakh units that was sold a year ago. The exports have also picked up pace, and that's a bit of a positive, because this was a lagging factor for Maruti Suzuki and larger PV players as well. 28,927 units have been sold in February this year, rather than 17,207 units that were sold last year. The mini car sales have, however, dropped to 14,782 units, vis-a-vis 21,875 units a year ago. And when we talk about some of the popular models, so Ciaz sales are at have dropped to 481 units, vis-a-vis 792 units a year ago. Those are some of the, and compact car sales have also dropped to 71,621 units, vis-a-vis 79,898 units as well. Mini car sales have also seen some drop. So you're actually looking at these jump coming in from the larger cars, that's from Maruti Suzuki, and you can see Maruti now hovering at record high levels again after this move, and 3.5% move can be seen on this one. 11,658 for Maruti Suzuki. The total domestic passenger vehicle sales have seen an uptick of 8.7%. How would you look at Maruti now?
So, Sakshi, if I'm not wrong, I think company declared the result on 31st of January, where the counter was trading at around 10,000. And since then, this counter is clearly making higher top, higher bottom again. If you look at just the day before yesterday, it was down by around 3%. Again, there was a buying opportunity considering the entire uptrend. And see, today we are nearing all-time high again, and it's trading at around 11,600. Yes, it's a perfectly the perfect counter for anyone who wishes to buy even today. The stop loss on this can be 11,000. and the targets can be as high as 12,500 kind of levels. But just one again cautionary note is that after this announcement has come in, the counter has moved up too much. So not from the immediate short term point of view, but one can play from the mid term point of view on this counter.
Okay, fair enough. So that's the word coming in on Maruti Suzuki that has just come out with the February sales figures as well. Let's look at the top gainers right now. So it's again Tata Steel, that's 6% higher, L&T that's 5% higher. Next I'll take L&T's view from Kunal for all of our viewers. JSW Steel 4% higher, Titan, IndusInd Bank, ICICI Bank, SBI, Tata Motors. These are the top movers in the afternoon trade for all the viewers who are tracking the markets aggressively at this point in time amidst the record high levels that we can see. L&T specifically, one of the major contributors today, after a long haul of consolidation coming back into flavor. How would you look at L&T? It's also won a contract and is among those who have been the Defence Ministry contracts have been awarded to L&T as well, to the tune of 7,000 odd crore rupees again. So how would you look at L&T now afresh? Of course, it's the poster boy of the infra story and is also now getting into the limelight because of the defense related move that we have been witnessing over the last 6 months.
So since July 2023 so far, if we connect the bottoms, there is a perfect trend line which is getting placed at around 3,300. And just a couple of days back, I think around 8 to 9 days back, we saw the lows of 3,300 itself, and from there we have seen a massive bounce. And today also, it's trading at around 4.5% gain. So if I were to initiate a fresh position here, the stop loss is going to be at 35.75. 3575 can be the stop loss, and the targets can be all-time high again. These are really strong counters. The volume activities are really very high, and in the decline there are no volumes. That actually encourages even a swing trader to shortlist such kind of counters. So yes, I'm definitely bullish. 3575 being the stop loss, one can initiate a buy even at the present levels.
Okay. The other counter that we will discuss is with respect to the kind of defense contracts that have been extended from the Defense Ministry is HAL. Of course, again, this has been a major player from the defense space. It has, for sure doubled investors' money. Let's pull up the long-term chart of HAL again for last 6 months and last 1 year. If we see the kind of move that we have seen on HAL, a lot of investors would see. Last 6 months, it's seen a drop 20%, but that's when we talk about the last 1 year move, you will see a strong move on that one. What would your sense be? And of course, this is adjustment, price adjusted as well. That the steep fall that you see in August, there was a split again, so that was price adjusted. But otherwise, definitely, it's doubled investors' money. On HAL again, a 5,000 odd crore rupees of a contract has been extended for helicopters by Defence Ministry again. How would you look at HAL now?
October 2023, where the final bottom was made, and that was at around 1800. And since then, again, this counter is been just a perfect stellar performer. Broader consolidation of last 3 months was seen, but not even a single lower top, lower bottom. And again, today what we are witnessing is a fresh new high and a breakout again. So yes, this can lead to a new rally from the present levels also, keeping the stop loss of around 3050, which is 100 points away. One can initiate a buy, and the targets can be at least 3,500. And these targets are based on the broader consolidation size, which is taken on the higher side from the breakout point of the day. So with the stop loss of 100 points, I think one can expect 350 points on the immediate term. And as again, this counter continues upside, we should trail the stop loss rather than booking the profits. I think there is more juice on the upside left for the counter.
Okay, so that's as far as the defense moves are concerned. And now I'm going to shift gears a little, Kunal, and I'm now going to ask you about a stock that for sure will bring a smile to your face. But you have to give us an answer on that one, and that is Paytm, a 5% upper circuit. 423 currently, and this again move has come on the back of Vijay Shekhar Sharma talking about very vocally that they are distancing themselves from the payments bank completely. A lot of interoperability or contracts are now getting withdrawn between the two companies, so they are clearly distancing themselves from the damage that has been done to Paytm's payments bank by RBI's directive that came on 31st of January, a month on, and things are they are looking at how to distance themselves from this, which has led the stock to fly to 5% upper circuit today. 423, how would you look at Paytm now?
So again, as you rightly said, it always brings the smile on the face, because even if we share our views, the problem here is going to be the risk management part. From the recent decline, when the counter is making a higher top, higher bottom, I think the breakout is placed now at 435, above 435, with the stop loss of I think around 375 to 380 levels. One can certainly initiate a buy, but the question is whether we'll be able to initiate a buy and whether we'll be able to maintain our stop loss in this case. So viewers will be advised to make some cautionary position here. But yeah, I think this entire downtrend is now coming to an end with a higher top, higher bottom. One can certainly initiate a buy on the counter.
Okay, so that's the view coming in on Paytm. Let's look at the draggers as well. It's important to address both sides of the market. The space that's not performing today is clearly the pharma healthcare space specifically, and a lot of these hospital stocks are actually looking weak, and they have been trading with a lot of nervousness over the last few days, right from this time that Supreme Court came out with that directive to either streamline the prices, along with the public players in the healthcare space, or they will have to standardize the prices for such companies, for the hospitals right there. Now, what does it mean? How have you assessed this kind of a move? Because this will be an important space to watch from the next 4 to 6 weeks kind of perspective. By the time some of the discussions would have already started to take place on an advanced level, and what do the healthcare unions really talk to government about, what do they negotiate there, etc., because there has been a clear lack of transparency as well from the big hospital players for the consumers when it comes to the kind of pricing they have to take for several procedures, even for room rates, etc. And this has led to a sharp downfall. Let's look at the stocks. Max Healthcare has dropped 7%. That's the one that has really taken a tough beating. Then you also have a lot of other stocks that are taking a beating today. Apollo Hospitals is down in trade. Then you have, Fortis Healthcare, Max Healthcare, all of them down in trade in today's trading action. A lot of the, original manufacturers, the pharma majors, also coming under pressure. How would you really look at this move, and what would your view be on the hospital stocks? How much of a dampener could this news bring in?
So again, Sakshi, if you look at the overall trend of the market, these counters have really outperformed in a big way. They were major contributors, in fact, as far as the mid cap segment was concerned. And after this recent announcement and the updates which we are hearing from the industry, yes, there has been a sell-off. But if I again give importance to the trend of the market, the trend of the counters, they are really stagnant and there is no damage to the entire segment. If you look at the recent performance of Max Healthcare, look at the today's low that was at around 706, and right now it's trading at 735, 736 again. So there he's been some kind of support which has been available, and the trend might just continue. So yes, even we are closely watching this entire space. The whole idea is to keep watch on it, and if there is a reversal again, or say I would put it in this way, that if there is a continuation of the trend, I think this can be a best buying opportunity. So the two counters which we have shortlisted for now, one is a Max Healthcare itself, the support being 700. If the counter manages to hold these levels and consolidates and reverses again, I think this can be a best buy. And the second is Narayana Rudralaya, which is again down by around 44 rupees. That's 3.5% in today's trade, but trend is still intact. So with the stop loss of around 1200, one can shortlist this counter also from buying point of view. But it's not an immediate buying. We'll wait for the counter to consolidate, and we'll wait for the counter to show us the strength for the upside movement.
Okay, so that's as far as the hospital and the healthcare stocks are concerned. There's an update that's coming in on Coal India. February coal offtake has increased by 12% to 65.3 metric tons, and that's on a year-on-year basis that you see the uptake. The production for coal has also increased 8.7% to 74.8 metric tons again. Now, this is the kind of move that has brought in about 2.5% of a move coming in on Coal India on the back of this data point as well. Coal India has also been a stunning performer Gunal, you would remember, you've been tracking the markets for so long. This used to be one stock which would only be brought for dividend yields by the investors, and never would anyone want to hope that, okay, this is a growth stock and it will provide you, huge amount of an upside in a short to medium term perspective. But the way it has rallied has surprised many as well, with a lot of people feeling the FOMO. Last 6 months, it's gone up 80% odd or so. Last 1 year, of course, investors' money has been doubled in this stock. 100% of a move has been seen. How would you look at Coal India now?
So yeah, Sakshi, that's very true. The always intention was to make a dividend yield, and it turned out to be the capital appreciation. In fact, the breakout was on September 2023 when the counter made the fresh high of 275, and since then a clear high top higher bottom again. Yeah, we saw the sideways consolidation for the entire month of February, but today's move is again confirming that the consolidation is over and it's ready for a new rally from the present level. So one can certainly initiate a fresh buy at the present level, 430 being the strict stop loss. One can expect the new high very soon again on the counter. The entire consolidation which we witnessed had no volumes, and today we are again witnessing huge volume coming on the counter. I think this is the counter which is again ready for the new all-time high, that's at around 485. So with the stop loss of 17 points, one is actually taking up the directional trade for 40 points. That's how the risk reward ratio is placed for the counter.
Okay, fair enough. Let's discuss your specific strategies that you would be looking at in the markets now, Kunal. 3 minutes to go for the markets to shut shop. A good time to discuss the way the markets will pan out now, and how would you advise investors to really go about the markets at record high levels now?
So, Sakshi, as we discussed in the beginning, indices are still looking for a new rally from the present level. So, HDFC and Kotak is the preferred choice, certainly. But at the same time, if I look at the specific pockets, the first counter is Tata Chemicals. Look at yesterday's low, that was at around 930, and today it's trading at around 965. That's clearly highlighting a massive strength upcoming in the counter. So with the favorable risk reward ratio, again, I'm shortlisting this counter for a fresh buy. One can initiate a buy at the present level also. The stop loss can be 935, which is 30 points away. But the targets can also be at 1050. Now, this is the target which I'm expecting for next 2 to 3 weeks. So that's going to be for the entire series itself. And the one more counter is Bajaj Finance, a massive underperformer. Counter has given the fresh breakout today. So with the stop loss of 65.50, that's almost, 64.50, which is almost 125 points away from the present level. One can initiate a buy, and the targets can be as high as 7,000 even on this counter. So these are the two counters to watch out from next 2 to 3 weeks point of view.
Okay, fair enough. Tomorrow is going to be a special trading session as well, Kunal, and the markets are not shut, so we have a longer week to deal with. There are going to be two specific trading sessions that will begin with the pre-opening tomorrow at 9 and 9:15. Like normally, we will see the market trading session that will first get over at around 10 o'clock, and then we will see another trading session from 11:30 to 12:30 p.m. How would you really look at the trading strategies for these specific trading sessions? What will happen tomorrow? If you could give a little guidance to all our viewers, many of whom will be looking at some trading or investing opportunities for tomorrow. How is the trading day going to be like, and what should be the strategy?
So I would really consider tomorrow's day to be an extension of today's day itself. Not much of the volume expected. So I think indices should continue in the way they are doing right now. On the futures front, Nifty has a support at around 22,400 levels. Now that's the future level, 22,400 being the support. And on the bank Nifty, we have the support at around 47,450. So I'll keep these two levels in mind, and I'll initiate my trades. I'll carry on with my trades which are executed for the day itself. And for tomorrow, I think IRCTC and Wipro can also be shortlisted from short-term point of view. But remember, it's just an extension of today's day. So these are the observations which I'll play with for next two hours for tomorrow itself.
Okay, fair enough. Well, thanks a lot, Kunal, for being with us on to this very special edition and sharing with us all those viewpoints as well. There are some other important news flashes that are coming about just as we are about to close the session, and that's from IMD. And IMD has pointed out that El Nino conditions are becoming weaker. They mentioned that as far as the latter half of the monsoon season is concerned, that may see La Nina conditions. And they've also mentioned how the Indian Ocean dipole conditions may continue from March to May onwards, and more heat wave days would be important to track. 1 second, let me just get that. More heat wave days. 1 second. Seen over most parts of India since March to May. So there are going to be, severe heat wave days. That's as far as the IMD has mentioned. And they are saying that El Nino conditions may become neutral going forward from here. And they're also saying that that rains, the March rains are seen above normal at 117% of the long period average. So positive comments coming in from the IMD officials when it comes to the upcoming rainfall season is also concerned, as far as the March rainfall is also concerned as of now. Okay, so there you have it. The markets have shut shop. New record closing highs for you. For the Nifty, 344 points higher, 22,327, a 1.5% uptick for the Nifty. The Nifty Bank is up 2.5% as well. 1,129 points of an uptick. That's been a strong performance from the Nifty Bank in today's trading session. A very sharp move on the upside. And there you have it. The mid caps up by 0.9%. And you also have a whole host of sectors that have moved the markets today. So be it the metal space, oil and gas space, be it the PSU banking space, the Nifty Bank itself, all of them have moved up very sharply. The Nifty advances 1519 versus 773 kind of a declining ratio. So very strong move coming in. 2.5% uptick for the Nifty Bank today. A very strong move coming in from that one. And the stocks that have really contributed, it's L&T, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, Reliance Industries, Axis Bank, Tata Motors. These have been some of the stocks that have really contributed to the market move. All right, with that we will wrap up this special trading session, but we will see you tomorrow morning as the markets open for a very special trading session, which will extend about 2.5 hours of trade in after a break as well. That will be separated by a break, but tomorrow 9 a.m. is when we open and tell you what exactly do we see. And of course we will have the benefit of taking the global cues which come in from US and from the other overnight markets tomorrow morning, and we don't have to wait for an indication coming in on Monday on that one. So do stay tuned on Business Today TV as action continues on the other side for you.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe from multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines and many other sectors.
Alright guys, so what you see behind me right now, if you can see it, yes there it is, it's the concept laptop with a transparent display by Lenovo that's been introduced here at the Mobile World Congress. I'm going to give you a quick look of what this transparent display offers, because the